Hi, welcome to You Didn't Get the Memo. I'm your host, Gloria Bailey, and as always, we've got a dynamic show for you today. Hey, we're kicking off Black History Month, and I decided that we're going to highlight some Black female entrepreneurs, some women who are doing such great things, great work. Now, I know many of you say, I live Black History 365. Well, so do I. But you know what? We have with us women, and for this month that we celebrate Black History Month, this is what we're going to do. But for those of you who are new to You Didn't Get the Memo or have not watched the show before, let me just tell you a little bit about what You Didn't Get the Memo is. It is about providing you, the viewer, with relevant, factual, mainstream information to help you be informed and to make informed decisions. So we've got four dynamic, some of the dopest sisters around that I would say a lot of times maybe people would say are hidden figures. Well, guess what? We're going to expose them and we're going to put them out there, and we're going to start first and foremost with, I'm going to bring on Miss Kim Miller. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Miss Kim. As you see, she is, first of all, the first African-American poet laureate of Prince Williams County, Virginia. You see her information there. But more importantly, the sister is just dope. And I want to welcome her to the show because, look, she probably can spew a few words for us. But Miss Kim, thank you. And welcome to You Didn't Get the Memo. I'm so excited that you decided to be here with us today.
My pleasure.
All right. So let's just jump in and just start with, first of all, telling our viewers a little bit about you. Kind of like, what's your backstory?
Okay. So my name is Kim B. Miller, and I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, currently reside in Virginia, married with kids, 2 from the heart, 2 from the stomach. You know, poets got to stay so fancy. In other words, 2 I pushed out and 2 I got through marriage. And I've been poeting seriously now probably about 8 years. I'm an award-winning poet, and I'm the poet laureate, as you just heard, from Prince William County, Virginia, the first African-American poet laureate for Prince William County, Virginia. I love words. Words have power.
Okay, so with that, tell us a little bit about how you really and truly got started because, of course, I think that there's really been a spotlight on poets, people who can speak poetry. And of course, with Miss Amanda Gorman,
Yes.
doing the inauguration, that I just love that because there are so many sisters. And like I said, to me, you're a dope sister that's out there doing it and making it work. So for people who are wondering, okay, how do I get started? Because here's the biggest thing. A lot of times people feel like that they're not worthy, or they
Yes.
listen to other people that get in their ear and tell them, you can't do this. So what advice do you have for people who are actually looking to get into poetry and
That's,
speaking,
I,
writing?
I love that question. I tell people, first of all, if you're a new poet just starting, don't listen to any poetry. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but don't. Learn your style. Get your craft underneath you. Learn how you speak, how you present. Then go and listen to other poets. As far as listening to what people say about you, I tell people this: everybody has something to say once you make it. If they couldn't tolerate you while you in your cocoon, don't holler at you now that you flying. You don't have to prove yourself to everyone. Just be who you are, be an authentic writer, present yourself authentically, and you'll be heard.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to hear you say that, I think that it just goes. All of us here today can relate to the struggles, the challenges, the things that we've had to go through. But I always say that if you don't go through nothing, then you really can't talk about stuff, right?
Exactly.
No
Exactly.
no testimonies. But
Preach.
hearing you say that and just speak those words, I think that those are really, really important. So with one, do you have any advice for people who, as you said, you've kind of given them a roadmap, but what about maybe joining some type of poetry society or, things of that nature? How can they get out and get exposure?
Hmm. Another great question. So people ask all the time, well, where do I go? Where do I start? The good thing and the bad thing about COVID is that there's so much stuff online now. So Instagram has about at least 3 open mics a night, at least. So if you're looking for some place to start, Instagram is a great place. Facebook has some maybe a few open mics, but Instagram, if you get associated with the right people, you could actually be on an open mic every single night, 3 or 4 times a night if you choose to. So that is a great place to get exposure. It's a great place to get your feet wet. It's a great place to get some information. Now, if you're trying to build your craft, then you take some classes from people who are giving classes. Check the people giving classes. Just because they're giving the classes doesn't mean they know what they're doing. But there's some great people out there giving classes. Start with the open mics, then build your craft so that you can grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Because look, as much as COVID has affected all of us, there's not one person that can't say it hasn't been. But on the flip side, what it has done, it has opened up a whole nother world. And I know that I can say that.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, COVID ain't been all bad as it relates to me, because I'm always trying to see the silver lining and everything, right?
Mhm.
So I think that is fantastic. So look, I just want you guys to saw that I put Miss Miller name up here, but we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to another Black female entrepreneur. You guys don't go anywhere, because I'm going to bring them all back before we close this thing out, okay? So Miss Kim, you hang tight. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and we'll be back with you in just a minute, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
All right. Hey, if you're just joining us, you're tuned in to You Didn't Get the Memo with me, your host, Gloria Bailey Ray. And today we are kicking off Black History Month by highlighting some Black female entrepreneurs who are out there doing it and making it happen. Now, my next guest is a designer. Her sister is she's just all of that. That's all I can say. Y'all need to follow her, check all of my guests out, y'all. Let's quit talking about it. Let's be about it, right? But I want to bring to the stage Miss Portia. Portia, thank you so much for joining me on You Didn't Get the Memo. And I can't wait for you to kind of show off some of your designs and talk a little bit about how you got started. So that will be my first question. Why don't you tell people what your backstory is and how you got started?
Well, first, thank you so much for the invitation to join tonight. I'm really excited to be here to discuss entrepreneurship with these other women. I got started because I have always been really crafty. I started off knitting and crocheting, and oddly enough, I branched off into sewing when I was pregnant with my first child. Why? Who wants to start sewing when your body is changing every week? But it just came over me, so that's what I started doing. And it always started off as just a way to support my habit, right? Like I love creating, but I can't keep all the things that I create. I love getting, new fabric, and my closet is full already. I don't need not another thing, but the love and the joy that I get from making items keeps me going. So I'll make them and sell them, So it keeps coming.
Hey, awesome. Well, look, let me just tell you, Miss Portia, you got some things over there can't keep in the closet. Your girl over here can always use a updated wardrobe, okay? But thank you for that. But you know what? You had a skill. and you took that skill and you turned it into something. And that's why I want to have all of you different entrepreneurs on here, because a lot of people always think, and you heard with Ms. Kim, we have a skill, we have it in us, and yet somehow we get sidetracked by people saying, or in your mind, I'm not good enough. So
Right.
what advice do you have for people who, like you, have all of these skills and you aren't doing anything with it? What would you say to them?
I would say that you have to keep your blinders on, because that imposter syndrome is real. Similar to what Ms. Kim was saying about, if you're a poet, don't listen to any other poetry. I have to keep a reminder to stay in my lane. I can't look at what this person is doing over here, what that person is doing over there. I have to do what makes me happy, and what feeds my soul. And someone else's journey might not be the journey that I want to take. So I think that that's important. It's really important for people to start out with, to know what your goal is. Like, my goal is, I love Ankara fabrics. It is the most beautiful fabric on the face of the earth to me. And growing up as a tomboy, I never thought that I would work with florals. But a couple of years ago, something came to me and it spoke the word bloom. And a lot of times as women, from a very young age, we are taught to keep ourselves small, to diminish our skills, to play down our talents, and just sit back and be in the shadows. And I'm here to tell you, don't you dare do that. Let
Yes.
your gift, let your beauty bloom. And that word came to me a couple years ago. So a lot of my fabric has a floral or a botanical. I love plants. You can see a couple of them over here, but I love plants. I love growth. I love life and greenery. So a lot of the prints that you'll see with my collection incorporate flowers, leaves, growth. Sometimes it's just a fire print like this one here. I just had to have it. I had to make something with it. So
yeah. I mean, geez, look, I'm going to have to coin some of those things that you just said, because it is so true. And, the beauty of what you do, our bodies, we come in all different shapes. And Lord knows, if you really look at what our young people today, what's considered acceptable, right? Although you see a little bit more, now it shows women, you got the butt, you got the boobs, but it's still that stigma around, you kind of need to be thin and skinny, otherwise you can't be pretty and accepted. And that is truly not the case. So I'm really happy to hear you, hear you say that. Now, what I would like to do, because you got some things, and like I told all of y'all, don't y'all go nowhere, because I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to ask you to just kind of, highlight some of the outfits so that people can see it. And we'll come back and we'll talk. And at the end of the show, I'm going to ask all of you, I want you to have some parting words for all of the viewers who are looking or who are following in the genre that you are in, and what they can do. So does that work for you?
I'll be here.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to bring on a sister who is just the financial world. Let me just tell y'all, Wall Street ain't got nothing on the sister. Y'all not hearing me. They do not. And so I think that it's really, really important that people recognize and hear her and hear what she has to say. So don't go anywhere, you guys. We'll be right back.
Because the fight isn't over yet.
You will see me choose to protect my community by wearing a face cover.
And even with my face covered,
you will see me.
As a son.
As a man with a never quit attitude.
As a fighter for change.
Join me in wearing a face cover.
To help stop the spread of the coronavirus.
Because this is one small act of kindness
that has the power to make a big difference.
All right. I forgot to remind the viewers if they have comments to be sure and put the comments in the section. And I just want to say, my guest, Miss Portia, already a comment said they can't wait to see these beautiful outfits. So that's I think that's a great thing. For Miss Kim, I know you got some words of wisdom that you're gonna spew for us. So don't go anywhere. All right. But I promised you guys that the next entrepreneur that I want to highlight is Miss Cathy Jackson-Gent. Y'all, what can I say? This sister wrote a book, and all I can tell you is it's about surviving financially in a rigged system. And that's true. And if you guys had not been paying attention to what's been going on with the stock market, what's been going on, especially GameStop, I just remember looking at that stock, it wasn't even $5. And people have made money. But the sister already, but she is so she just has I want to say you're just clairvoyant. You already know what's going on. So I want to welcome to the stage my third guest, Miss Cathy Jackson-Gent. Cathy, welcome to You Didn't Get the Memo. And I can't wait to just hear you talk a little bit. And I'll kick it off by saying, let's just hear what your backstory is. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Gloria, for inviting me today. Happy Black History Month to everyone. I guess that's every day. Being Black, I'm happy every day being Black. And being Black in America right now is a tough situation as we deal with pandemics and unemployment and everything that's going on. So I think this is a very timely discussion to have today. My story, I grew up pretty much in San Francisco, California. I guess you could say I'm low middle class. At the time, it wasn't really quite middle class, it was low middle class. And, I was inspired to be an entrepreneur as a result of going to college, first college graduate on my mom's side. And actually on my dad's side as well, in terms of his child. So today, of course, you may not know this, but I on my way to having 11 grandchildren. I have 10 now and one more on the way. All of my children have been exposed to college one way or another. And I am very interested in being involved in people's lives when it comes to building wealth and building legacy. When I was in college, I studied business and computer science, but I didn't understand how there were some people who had a lot of money and there were others who didn't. But yet, we didn't, as a group, as a culture, have enough money to do much of anything with. And I think if you followed what went on in the markets in this last week or last 2 weeks, you probably experienced a group of people, small people getting together as it relates to retail investors and really making some moves in the markets and really being able to accumulate wealth, assuming they were able to get out ahead of time and not lose so much money. We can do the same thing. And I was just really concerned about, should I say not necessarily concerned, but I was intrigued very early on my age, what it meant to be wealthy and to leave a legacy, and why African Americans and particularly women were behind the curve on that. So I decided, it's been 37 years now since I've had Global Investment Company, and very happy and passionate about helping folks and manage their finances and their business, because business and personal literally are one. And so they kind of feed off of each other, and understanding how that works together, I think also is very important to share with people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that one of the things is, and for all of us, I think everyone that's on here today can relate to when you start out. And a lot of times it's understanding having the financial piece in place, because when the financial piece is in place, then everything else tends to fall in line. And I know I made that mistake. I just had a desire, a dream. I'm gonna go out there and do it. But at the end, you kind of have to come full circle. And that's what I think that's so great about you and what it is that you do. And you've been doing this now for how many years?
37 years.
37 years.
Yeah.
So I think that when people think about the wealth, the knowledge that you have, and it's not easy when you think about what your title is, right? A financial and business analyst. You know, you've gone through, you've gotten you got what I say, you got your paperwork in order, okay? And so if people are wondering, again, this is not a sister that's a joke, but this is someone who deeply cares about making sure that we as people of color, that we really and truly are financially stable. Because I keep saying that 40 acres and a mule, that dog don't hunt no more. So we need to just really and truly, hunker down and learn the ropes. And I think that that's one of the things that you do. So let me transition real quickly and ask you this. You wrote this book. Surviving. Oh, okay. Hold it up. All right.
I have it this time. Last time I didn't have it.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So tell us a little bit about this book, because it has so much content in it, but you wrote it from a place of where?
Yeah, no, that's really cool that you mentioned that. I'm a financial advisor. Actually, I'm a registered investment advisor, and which basically allows me to, charge fees for what I do in providing advice. So I think that's important to know. I'm also a fiduciary, which basically means that I'm really responsible for other people's money, and it's important that other people who are fiduciaries understand that they're that as well. So I'm really concerned about making sure that any kinds of investments that I make and investments that my clients make are prudent and safe based on their goals. So one of the reasons why I wrote this book, it was really about let's just say one of my clients, Ishmael Reed, as one of my longest clients. He's been with me and his family, oh gosh, as long as I've been in business. And for many years, he really encouraged me to write down some of the strategies that I use with them and other clients along the way to help them be successful and to be able to leave a legacy that's worth something in the future. For their children and also future generations. So that's kind of the one of the reasons why I wrote the book. The other reason I wrote the book is because, we are living in America, and at the end of the day, people create our systems, and really at the end of the day, people are also the ones that can help rig our systems. And we as individuals can sometimes rig our own systems by not being really aware of what we're doing with our finances and the goals that we're trying to reach in order to make that happen. So to have some tools to get there, budgeting, goal setting, exercises around what's important to you is part of why I wrote the book.
Okay, awesome. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, because in between, we're going to bring on another Black female entrepreneur. And like I said, I'm coming back to all of y'all, because I got some, don't think any of y'all getting off easy now. Look, I got some questions for you, and I know inquiring minds want to know. So hang tight. We will be right back after this quick break, and we will have Miss Sylvia Blalock that's up next. All right. Thanks, Cathy.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
All right. Hey, guys, thank you so much for hanging in here and tuning in with us. If you are just joining us, I do want to remind you that if you have questions for any of my guests, you can put a comment in the comment section and we will get to it. Today, our show is kicking off Black History Month, and I am highlighting some of the finest hidden figures in many cases, but it's highlighting Black female entrepreneurs and what it is that they're doing. My next guest that is coming onto the scene is Miss Sylvia Blalock. And Sylvia actually does a show called Poetry in the Raw. And if you've not heard her spoken word, then you are actually missing out. So I want to thank you, Miss Sylvia, for joining us. Welcome to You Didn't Get the Memo. How you doing? Okay, you got your mute on.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're excited to talk, and as I said, highlighting Black female entrepreneurs who are out there who are doing it. So let's start with, first of all, how you got started, because you have this thing with words. Man, it just, I don't even know, it emanates out of you. I've watched you, I've listened to you, and I'm thinking, ooh, where does that come from? So let's just kind of start a little bit with your backstory. Who Sylvia Blalock is, and tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
I was introduced to poetry because I wanted to use my spelling words to write poems to my grandmother when I was in elementary school. And it was a way in which she got me to do my spelling. And I would make these words that rhymed. And I believe my first poem was written on stationery to my nana when I was 8 years old. I have 2 storage bins that contain over 300 spiral notebooks and journals that I have written in since I was 12 years old, and I've kept them all. I went into customer service because I have a way with words, I'm told. And what I did was learn. I like to tell people that I was given the opportunity to learn how to speak to people and be paid for it. By extension, I have learned how to treat people and be treated from the perspective of service. And the result has been that I have done the best to learn how to use communication to teach, to learn, and to share information. I brought a quick poem that is actually celebrating queens that I wanted to share with you, called Queendom. And because I wrote this poem, I made connections with other poets, writers, and was able to start my own network that I can then introduce others to poetry, as well as teach them how to host their own shows. So the name of this piece is Queendom. Queens, I don't know if anyone has told you, but that new style you're wearing, woo, you look gorgeous. All resplendent as can be, all wrapped up in poetry. Spirit so black, so bright, you're blinding. I see your inner light shining out loud and on purpose for all to see. Well, sister, you're looking good. Well, at least to me, because I see you in my third eye view, shining from my screen to thine own self true. If I'm not in touch with you, I haven't forgot you. I'm laying a foundation to better be about you. The struggle is as real as I agree to let it be, that goes for you as much as for me. I am sending you heartfelt admiration to all those brave queens spreading ink across the nation. Indigo rivers from sea to shining sea. To those afraid of spitting that, and those who feel like quitting that, please know that I'm feeling that. Sometimes the battle takes all that you have, and it seems like everybody has more than you have. Your burden blocks the view of your path. You wanna cry so bad you can barely laugh. Your dip into success has turned into bloodbath, and doubt is on you like a psychopath. The mirror is tricky when it catches the light. Something about the reflecting is not quite right. Your aura casts no reflection, so you never see how much you glow. The world that feeds on your essence and you don't really know. The brighter you get, the more they cling, doing their best to get a taste of that thing, that shine in your eye, that beat that you walk to, so close to God, he's a friend that you talk to. Often simulated, but never quite duplicated. Secretly worshipped, openly hated. But I know you are the runway, the lights, and the show. Sister, you go. And that's that piece.
Well, okay. Unexpected. You're gonna make me cry my false eyelashes off. Okay. Thank you.
I think that what you do to put us all out here and continuing to have these kind of opportunities, not just for myself, but for the people that we say, here she is, let's be a conduit to keep bringing attention to what we are doing in this community. Sister, you go.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm supposed to be hosting this, not choked up, okay? But thank you. I really and truly appreciate that. Namaste. So with that, I am going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and then I'm going to bring all of you back together, and I'm just going to kind of do a round robin with all of you, okay? So don't go anywhere, you guys. Hang in there with me. We'll be right back.
Myth. If you get COVID-19, you'll recover after a few days. That myth is false. We're only just beginning to understand the effects of COVID-19 on the human body, as we're starting to see more and more people identifying as long haulers who are having symptoms for weeks, if not months, after their initial infection. Continue to wear a mask, socially distance, and wash your hands. Together, we can keep COVID out of school.
For ways to keep your community safe, go to backtoschooltogether.com.
Okay, I don't know if you guys have been tuned in, and if you're just joining, the chat room is alive. The feedback is that people are loving sisters, supporting sisters. People are thanking, me for bringing this on and highlighting all you sisters. And that's really and truly what it's about. I started out by saying, hey, look, I'm Black History 365, 24/7. I know that. But you know what? This is our month. Let's not dummy it down, but let's lift sisters up. Let's talk about what Black people are doing out here. And we're all doing some wonderful things. Before I went to break, I said I wanted to bring everybody back in, because guess what? We're going to kind of do a little bit of a round robin. So I know that all these sisters know how to think on their feet. So let me bring back in Miss Kim Miller. Let me bring back in Miss Cathy Jackson. Let me bring back in Miss Sylvia and Miss Portia. All right, y'all with me?
Yes.
Here. All right, so first of all, the first question I have for all of you, let's start with this. Tell me what challenges each of you have had in starting your business. Now, whoever goes first, I'm gonna highlight you and put you out there. So who wants to take that question?
I'll go.
My insecurity that I could do the job.
Okay.
I was my own stumbling block to get started. Me.
All right. Well, let's start with Miss Kim. She wants to talk about it. So go for it.
Okay, so it's getting past what you think people want and offering what you want. Making price points that are fair for the products as opposed to making price points that you think will sell. So a lot of time we start our businesses and we try to gear them obviously toward the customer, but it also has to be fair toward us too. So it's being as fair toward us as we are toward other companies and making a product that we want ourselves and the quality that we want.
Yeah. You know what? You make an excellent point. And let me just be straight up, because one of the things that people are into it sometimes about the dollar. And the thing is, when you're going after the dollar, then you really aren't looking at it and it's not coming from in here, right?
Yes.
And so I think that that's one of the things that people really need to underscore when you're talking about starting a business and what those challenges are. All right. Well, all right, Miss Kim. All right. So who's up next? Let me see who we can bring in here. And I'm trying to keep us all in the screen. So Miss Cathy, let's see, Miss Sylvia and Miss Portia. All right. I think I got all of you guys now. Okay. So who wants to take it?
I have to go because my head was doing this the whole time that Kim was talking. So something that I learned recently, thanks to one of the groups that I'm in, is you want to envision your customer. A lot of times when we start out, we are envisioning selling our products to our friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
Your friends and family might not be your ideal client. And your friends and thank you. Hello. So, and then also making something. I am at the point now where people will ask me to make something, and if I don't want to make it, I'm not going to make it. Mm-hmm. Or I'll say, I don't make that, but this person does, because your heart has to be in it. Mm-hmm. Because it will show in the work that you do. When you love what you're doing, the quality shows. If you're just rushing through to try to get something quick to make $1, it's going to show in your work. And we don't have the luxury of the larger businesses to have bad, what's it called? Bad, oh my goodness. To have any bad reviews, let's say. Mm-hmm. If someone buys a shirt from Macy's and they don't like it, that's okay. But someone buys a shirt from Posh by Portia and puts it on blast or say that they don't like it, it hits me harder than it'll hit a Macy's. Mm-hmm. So you just want to make sure you're putting out quality material, but have your customer, your ideal client in mind. Who are you making this product for? They will find you.
Right.
You don't have to, do what so-and-so wants you to do. Do what you want, and that customer will be attracted to you and will find you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Can we just say keeping it real? That's what I'm talking about. Because one of the things that ends up happening, y'all, let me just say this. I love my family, but let me just tell you, if everything that you do, they can't even conceive of what it is that you're doing. That's the first thing. The second thing is they don't really understand why you're doing it, right? And the third thing is sometimes you put so much stock in thinking that, oh, they're going to do this. Look, let me just tell you, you just hit the nail on the head, knocked the ball out the park. That's a home run, Miss Portia. Because the reality of it is let me just tell you, if you don't know who your target audience is, right? And sometimes we go after the wrong folks. And you just said a bad word of mouth travels so much faster than, good word of mouth. I don't even know why that is, but Lord have mercy. They'll go to Macy's and say, oh, this didn't fit. I don't like this. But then they'll come back and put you on blast. Girl, her clothes suck. It didn't fit. Well, could it possibly be you needed a larger size before you go there? Let me just be real. But those are the things. And so it really and truly is. And that's why I want to highlight what it is that we're doing as Black entrepreneurs is putting ourselves out there. And let me just say to anybody around the world who's watching this, that's not an easy thing to do. So you're talking about building and having self-confidence and in who you are, whose you are, and what it is that you are about. Okay, so Miss Portia, thank you for that. We're going to get back to the clothes in a minute, all right? So Miss Cathy, I know you got something to say. Yes, Sylvia. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it going. So Miss Cathy.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, I'm probably going to hit on those that we are pretty much used to hearing about, primarily because that's the basics of business. Access to capital is a challenge. One of the reasons I decided to start Global Investment Company and try to raise funds is to be able to help our businesses grow and to start businesses. So access to capital is a challenge. Fear is also a challenge. It was, I think, initially for me. I'm now I call myself a serial entrepreneur. I have a global investment company, and then Aussie Opportunity Zone Investment, and started the Women's Chamber of Commerce. And so fear has gone away. If you believe in yourself and you have confidence, then, you go for it. Lastly is having a plan. Most of us don't. And I'm not talking about a plan that just says, here's what I said this is what I said I'm going to do. And this is what I told somebody, that it's going to look like this. But no, that you actually have a plan. You call it a business plan, you call it a financial plan, you call it whatever you want, but it's a roadmap to get from A to Z. And without that plan, it's very difficult, because when you veer off of that, which sometimes is not necessarily your own doing, you want to be able to regroup. For example, if you happen to start a business and doing manufacturing and it's out of your home, if you didn't know that you needed to have the health inspector come in and inspect your home, or maybe be in a different facility, but yet your sales are off the roof and off the chain, that could be a problem. It could put a damper on your business. So having a backup to maybe have a different location, or have a partner that can help you get some kind of financing is really important. So having a plan, having confidence and belief, no fear is real, meaning just do it. And lastly, access to capital. You should know that most Black businesses fund their own businesses. If we happen to own a home, we're probably taking money out of our home to do so. Otherwise, it's really about saving and just being bold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, Miss Cathy. Y'all, let me just read some of the comments that in the comment section. First of all, someone said, agree 100%. You must have a plan. I know they're out of the ATL. Someone said, family and friends will put you out of business. We also said, that's right. You need to know your product and know your worth. And sometimes we get in our own way. And so, y'all, this is really important, because people are listening, people are tuned in, people are saying, hey, thanks for highlighting these kinds of things. And I just think that it is ever so critical that we do that. And one of the things I will make sure that all of you have each other's contact information, and you need to follow back, you guys, support what each other is doing. That is so critical. Now, let me just say this, Miss Sylvia, you had made a comment in terms earlier about that, but let me ask you guys this question. I'm gonna start with you, Miss Sylvia. Let's talk about, what is your goal in business? You started this because you actually have a business, Uprising Radio, Poetry in the Raw. So there was something. What was the impetus, in terms of what was your goal when you started this business?
When I started this business, I wanted to be a writer, and I wanted to work a corporate job that would support my poetry habit. Mm-hmm. And as I did poetry, am I there?
Yeah.
As I did my poetry, I realized that I wanted to be able to project my poetry without having to compromise my agency or ownership of my art. So I started looking at, well, what else do? I do customer service. I build websites. I do quite a few things very skillfully that I now do for pay to promote poetry, writers, literary, didactic poetry to teach. And I want to make my lifestyle support what I love to do and have that support itself without compromising it. So now my business truly is promotion. Even though I write and get paid for my books, even though I have Uprising Radio is my online poetry show, and I do podcasts, and other people can do podcasts on it. But what really is paying me now is actually the supporting work that I do for that. And being able to be a disruptor so that you get your vision seen is a very lonely thing. When you go into doing a business that you are doing guided by your vision and a well thought out, well written business plan to make it happen, then you truly are driving in a seat on a freeway that is all yours.
Yeah.
And you have to be responsible for the car, the lane, the freeway, and every sign.
Yeah.
And it can be a lonely thing. So if you have the wherewithal to do that, then as you have seen for me for the last year, maybe you can quit smoking. Maybe you can lose 40 pounds too. Maybe you can use that willpower to power yourself and make yourself a living poem. Make yourself something someone wants to read, so that when I promote someone else, they will be able to take my word for it, that I know what I'm talking about. Here, pay this poet, pay this writer. And I think that doing that to build community is what my life was meant for.
Right. You know, all of that you're saying, and I just want to say this, and I think each of you will embrace this. It's really, really important that first and foremost, all of us, we recognize a higher power working within all of us. The second thing is, though, is that trust that you have that what you're doing. And y'all, Sylvia, you said it. It's a lonely highway. If I may say, I mean, it's a long, lonely highway, because you're on this by yourself. But at the same time, you guys, we all hear the stories. We hear the Tyler Perry, the Oprah Winfrey, all of that. Listen, all of us, we are not even one paycheck away from being just like they are, right? Because all it takes is that exposure. But they had what we all are talking about: belief, support, and having blinders on. You know what? I believe in what it is that I'm doing, and that's the difference. And so I can't say enough about what it is that each and every one of you are trying to do. So here we go. I'm going to come to Miss Portia because, people want to see these outfits. But Sister Kim, I'm just going to tell you, you're going to close us out because I know you got a spoken word for me, okay? So
yes, indeed.
Here we go. Miss Portia, you might as well bring it on. Get on up, girl.
I know.
And look, and show folks what you got, okay?
Okay, let me scoot this out the way.
All right.
So with Ankara fabrics, this is not a good angle. But there's not a lot of stretch. So a lot of my pieces are one size fits most, or an exterior piece. So this is one of my caftans. I am 5'7.5", and it goes all the way down to the floor. I also have a petite size. It's good for women that are about 5'2" and shorter. I also have a V-neck. So if you don't feel comfortable wearing the off the shoulder, you can wear the V-neck. This peplum top here, this is one of my most popular styles. You can wear her belted, or you can wear her open, and you don't have to use the belt that I include with it, but you put this on with a pencil skirt, with some shorts, with some jeans. It's very versatile. I love a good duster. I walk around the house in my dusters as house coats now, because I'm tired of being, if I want to keep my pajamas on, I still got to be cute when I go get my packages. So like this print here is one of my new ones, and you can see it's rose gold, and it's kind of reflective.
Look, they're loving it. They're loving it.
Orange and rose gold is gorgeous. And then what else do I have? Oh, this dress right here, it looks very simple, and it is. That's the beauty of it. I wore these all summer. Simple V-neck, pockets, midi length, which is going to hit you right around the mid calf, and you put on one thing for the entire day, and you're good to go. You're not in your pajamas all day. And then lastly, I have my jasmine swing coat, which is a lot like my peplum top, but it's longer. I believe this print here is sold out, but there are more prints on the website. And this one you can wear open or wrap it as a dress. It'll hit you again about mid-calf. And of course, she has pockets. So that's that print there. And what I love most about this one is it's flattering for every silhouette. So if you are very straight up and down, the tapered waist, I'll show you here. It comes in at the waist just a little bit, and then it has an A-line shape, so it's going to create curves for you. If you have curves, God bless you. It's going to accentuate those curves. So the Jasmine Swing Coat is my signature piece. And of course, head wraps. It has been a year. In March, it'll be a year since I've dyed my hair, and there's no turning back now. I just gray with it. But I have been living in head wraps. And the beauty of the fabric is that it's stiff. And when you tie them, I have tutorials on my my Instagram page and my YouTube page. The prints do all the work for you. They really do. They're really like, this looks elaborate. This is tied and rolled up and tucked in there, and I'm done.
Okay.
That's it.
So Miss Portia, shout out. I did a little flyer, but they're asking, shout out your website. And somebody said that duster is fire. Look, fire, not fire.
Yes.
Fire.
Fire. I love it. So my website, there it is. My website is, there it is, Posh, Posh, by Portia, PORTIA.com. You can also check out my Instagram page, which is posh.by.portia. And you can see my tutorials on there. You can see prints that are available and what I've been up to. But I am so enjoying this journey. Let me tell you, it's been amazing. It has been amazing.
Amen. Look, can I just say, ain't God good, y'all?
Amen.
Yes. All right. Okay, so
all day, every day.
All right. So I see a couple of people. I did put Miss Portia's information up there. It's on Instagram. It's Posh, POSH.by. Portia, Portia, and you can go to her website, which is www.poshbyportia.com. All right. So hopefully you got that. Thank you, Miss Deborah, for putting that up out there for me as well. All right. So look, before we go any further, let me just say this, since people are asking. Look, y'all need to buy Miss Cathy Jackson's book. This is her information. She's at www.globalinvestmentcompanies.com. Y'all need to get, how to survive, surviving in a financially rigged system. So in case you're wondering, Miss Cathy Jackson, she's dope. She's all of that. And all I can say is, if y'all don't listen to the sister, then shame on you. You're going to be po by default. Okay.
And it's time for the modernization of Black America, people.
Yes.
Let's focus.
Awesome. All right. Look, Miss Kim, I'm gonna save you for last because you're gonna close us out. But Miss Sylvia, y'all, Poetry in the Raw. She's the host of Uprising Radio, which presents Poetry in the Raw. Miss Sylvia, it's every Monday, right?
Yes.
What time?
Every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific. We are on Facebook, and the website, of course, for Uprising Radio is uprising-radio.com. But because I do so many other things, I am listed at sblalock.com.
Let's see. So sblalock.com on Facebook. That's what I have as well. All right. So y'all, look. The dopest sister up in here. I mean, all of them are dope, but since she's the first African American woman, a poet laureate of what is it? Virginia County, Wayne.
Prince William.
Yeah. Prince William County, Virginia. Miss Kim, I need you to just come on. You need to bring us a word, because I know you got some. So I'm turning it over to you. Get us.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to do some haikus for you guys. Haikus are really short poems, only 3 lines, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. You can find all my stuff at kimbmiller.com. Here we go. Haiku. Strong women are not unbreakable. We just know you ain't the hammer. Haiku. You cannot divide yourself into fractions to make someone else whole. Haiku. You were looking for someone powerful. I just showed you your mirror. Haiku.
Oh, look.
It's okay to be scared. Do it anyway. Scared people succeed too.
Yes. Awesome. See, you brought the word. Like I said, I knew that you would. Y'all, this is the beginning. I really hope that all you sisters know that this is the beginning of what we got going on. You got a book over there, Miss Kim?
I sure do. It just came out a couple of months ago. It's called My Poetry is the Beauty You Overlook.
Hold it up.
Yes.
All right. How can people purchase it?
Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble. You can go to my website. It's everywhere.
Okay. All right. I love it. So look, there's not one person that has watched this has not been motivated, inspired, feeling the love and understand the importance. Because ain't no love like sister love. I don't care what y'all say. Look, can we get an amen up in here?
Amen.
So I want to thank
Amen.
every one of you ladies for actually being here with me today. Like I said, don't go anywhere. I just want to make sure that I remind all of our viewers simply of this. Listen, at the end of the day, you know what? It's what God has given us. It's utilizing the gifts that each and every one of us have. I'm 8 years into this and I love it. It's a blessing from heaven, not anything that I look for. But I want to encourage each of you. You've heard all of these dope sisters talk about their challenges, why they're doing what they do, and how blessed they are. Y'all, don't look at the paycheck. Look at what's going to come out of this for you. And when you do things without any expectation, just learn to give and give selflessly of you. It will all come back. See, God has a way of blessing us all. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in today. You have been watching. You didn't get the memo. I want to remind you that next week we also have a sister who is a naturopathic doctor, Dr. Jennifer Henry, and she is going to be on, and we're going to be talking about hormone replacement therapy. Okay. And so these are the things that I strive to bring to you: relevant, factual, mainstream information to help you, the viewer, be informed and to make informed decisions. Guys, I want you to go out. I want you to be blessed. But most importantly, I want you to remember this: the quality of your life is determined by the decisions that you make. Until this time next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, be well. Remember to social distance, wear your mask, and practice good hand washing. God bless.